Hi, Jackson. It's Grandma Mare. Got a story for you. This one's called The Longest Day, and it's in celebration of the summer solstice, which is coming up in a couple weeks as I'm reading this on June 21st. The Longest Day by Wendy Pfeffer and illustrated by Linda Bleck. This book is for Milt, who loved long summer days, and for David, who was born on the solstice. As summer approaches in the northern part of the world, bison shed their heavy coats, mountain goats climb to sunny pastures, and with a splash of color, butterflies emerge from silky cocoons. See the mountain goat? There's bison and butterfly. At this time of year, the sun appears early each morning, rises higher into the sky each day, and lingers long into the evening. Days become longer and warmer, and crops grow and ripen. Families fill playgrounds and parks. They picnic under an umbrella of green leaves, play baseball, volleyball, or just nap in the warm sunshine. Children can ride bikes and play outdoor games for hours in the evening with the sun still in the sky. I bet you both love it outdoors. Around June 21st, the first day of summer, as Earth moves in its orbit, the northern half of the Earth tilts toward the sun, and so it gets more sunshine than the southern half. The first day of summer, called the summer solstice, has more daylight hours than any other day of the year, making it the longest day. The sun, spreading warmth and light, has always been important to people. Warm sunshine and more daylight hours make for a good growing season to supply life-giving food. Food from the farmer's garden, maybe from your own garden. The sun was so valuable to people who lived in ancient times that some considered it one of their gods. Egyptians believed their sun god Ra sailed in a golden boat across the sky. In Mesopotamia, the people imagined their sun god, Shamash, had a chauffeur drive him across the sky. Each morning, Shamash would come out the door of the east and travel across the sky to the door of the west. Then Shamash would travel underground all night to arrive at the door of the east again in the morning. The Greeks thought their sun god Apollo drove a chariot through the heavens, and the sun was one of its blazing wheels. See the sun as the wheel on the chariot? Early people observed and recorded how the sun appeared to move through the sky. They used many methods to chart the sun's path. Ancient Greeks measured the shadows of a tall pillar. The shortest shadow occurred on the longest day in summer, when the midday sun was high in the sky. The longest shadow appeared on the shortest day in winter, when the midday sun was low in the sky. The Chumash Indians of California painted a sunburst around an opening in the ceiling of a cave. They called it the House of the Sun. During mid-afternoon, on the longest day, the sun's rays streamed through the opening. When sunlight beamed on a quartz crystal wedged in the ground, the Chumash Indians welcomed the summer solstice. 5,000 years ago, in England, people began building structures to mark these special times of the year. One prehistoric monument, Stonehenge, that's it here, see it going across, consists of a circle of stones. Some line up with the summer solstice sunrise, and others line up with the winter solstice sunset. Over a period of 1,500 years, workers hauled and rafted heavy bluestones and sandstones over 100 miles to Stonehenge. Some stones were as long as a school bus and weighed 50 tons. That's heavier than 8 large elephants. Using rollers, ramps, and ropes, they set each massive stone in place. No one knows who these amazing builders were, or how they moved gigantic stones such long distances. But we do know they did it to celebrate the sun. Similar yet puzzling stone structures cover Mystery Hill in New Hampshire. Some call it America's Stonehenge. You see the stones? While Stonehenge is neatly arranged, Mystery Hill is a jumble of stones, many etched with ancient inscriptions. Some scholars think it was built by an unknown civilization between 2,000 and 5,000 years ago. Early on June 21st, visitors flocked to Mystery Hill. They watched the sun come up over Sunrise Stone, marking the beginning of the longest day. In Wyoming, look at that. In Wyoming, during mid-June, thousands of people hike up Medicine Mountain to see the Bighorn Medicine Wheel. Scientists and archaeologists believe the Plains Indians constructed this 80-foot wide circle of rocks between 200 and 800 years ago. 28 spokes radiate out from a central hub. One spoke points to the summer solstice sunrise, another to the summer solstice sunset. Over 700 years ago in Lithuania, villagers celebrated the longest day by washing their faces with morning dew, then singing, dancing, and feasting. They coated a wheel with tar, covered it with straw, and set it ablaze on top of a hill to symbolize the sun at its highest point in the sky. Then they rolled it down the hill toward a river to symbolize the sun moving through the sky. If the wheel was still burning as it hit the water, they believed the summer sun would produce a bountiful harvest. Today, Lithuanians and people in many other countries celebrate St. John's Day on June 24th with festivities from sunup to sundown. Your great-great-great-grandparents were from Lithuania. The days around the summer solstice have been called midsummer since long ago times. Since June 21st is midway between May and August, it is called midsummer. On Midsummer Eve, ancient Germanic tribes built fires. They thought fire would help the sun warm the earth and drive away unwanted spirits. They believed the bigger the fires, the farther away those spirits would move. Couples jumped over the fires, hoping that summer crops would grow as high as they jumped. How high can you jump? In Bohemia, now known as the Czech Republic, you have great-great-great-grandparents from there too. Girls made wreaths with flowers. Boys collected sticks and branches and built a bonfire. Girls stood on one side of the blaze and boys on the other. Each girl held her wreath up and looked through its center to decide whom she might want to marry. Then she threw her wreath across the fire to that boy. They believed the singed wreaths would protect them against sickness in the next year. On land that lies above the Arctic Circle, the sun shines for 24 hours on June 21st, all day long. In Sweden, it is called the day that never ends. During the Middle Ages, on Midsummer Day, Swedish families decorated houses and barns with greens to bring good fortune and health. They stripped branches off a tall spruce tree and decorated with garlands of flowers. Today in Sweden, every town sets up a midsummer pole, strewn with streamers, flowers, flags, and greens. Villagers wear folk costumes, play traditional music, and dance around the pole. Young people each pick 8 different flowers. They put them under their pillows at night, hoping to dream about their future. Each year, the people of Nome, Alaska celebrate the summer solstice with a midnight sun festival. On June 21st, the sun shines for more than 22 hours there. People parade, barbecue chicken, and dance in the streets. If the frozen ice is broken up in the Bering Sea, the annual polar bear swim is held. Brave people dip their entire bodies in almost freezing water to celebrate the longest day. Many people enjoy the heat of summer and outdoor summertime activities and sports. On hot summer days, children can wiggle wet toes in squishy sand, giggle with friends under a sprinkler, and grow sunflowers that turn slowly all day to keep facing the sun. At twilight, that's that time between daylight and darkness, after the sun sinks below the horizon, children can gaze at a few bright stars twinkling above and plan another day of fun in the sun. I hope you enjoyed that story, boys. Grandma Mare loves you. I hope you're well. Have fun in the sun and enjoy your summer solstice. I love you. Bye.